This is part 1 of 7.4 section in MyLabs Plus, and 7.4 is all about percents. The second video I make will be about interest rates and mental estimation, and everything else will be in this video. So let's practice converting. First we'll convert decimals to percent. It's going to go fast, watch it. Decimal to percent. Here's a decimal. Move the decimal 2 places. Cha-ching! You're done. 44%. Let's do the next one. Here's the decimal. Move it 2 decimal places. Cha-ching! We're done. 5%. 0.05 equals 5%. Percent means per hundred. It's a Latin word. Percent means per hundred. So 5 per hundred of the objects are what you want, 5%. And it says right here, 5 hundredths. This decimal you move 2 places, cha-ching, and you're done, 102%. Yes, you can have more than 100%, like if you get extra credit on a test. That would mean this is bigger than 1. And it's 1.02. Here's the next one, and I've obscured the line a little bit, but you can see it. 0.6 is repeating. Move the decimal twice. Cha-ching! And there's your answer. If there's no object there, you put a 0 normally, but we know the 6 is repeating, so we just keep putting 6s, because the 6s keep repeating, and that's the answer. 66.6 repeating. Move the decimal 2 places to the right when you're going decimal to percent. Let's go the other direction. Percent to decimal. To go from percent to decimal, you grab the decimal and move it 2 to the left. Cha-ching! There's the answer. 0.45, another way to say it is 45 hundredths. 45 per hundred, that's the percent. 0.45 is the same as 45%. Well, that's going percent to decimal. I want to go and change it to a fraction. So I'm going to go from percent to decimal to fraction. So this is 0.45, which is said 45 hundredths. There it is, that's my fraction. Move the decimal twice, and then write that decimal as a fraction. Now we'd want to reduce that. Top and bottom can be divided by 5, and the answer is 9/20. We'll do the same thing whenever we're moving percents to decimals. Grab the decimal, cha-ching, move it only twice, 4.45. If we want to make that into a fraction, we would say what column this is in. The last digit is in the hundredths column. So this is 4 and 45 hundredths. This part is in the hundredths column. And then it would be reduced to 4 and 9/20. Grab the decimal, move it twice. Cha-ching! Put a 0 if you need to. 0.04 is the same as 4%. The 4 is in the hundredths column, so it's 4 per hundred, 4%. And we divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. Oh, we could have divided it by 4, so we'll divide it again by 2 and get 1/25. Grab the decimal, move it twice, cha-ching, add a 0 if you need to, 0.0025. It looked tempting to move the decimal to the right, but going from percent to decimal, we always move it to the left. Move the decimal to the left when you're going percent to decimal, then you can write it as a fraction. The last digit isn't in the tenths column or the hundredths column or the thousandths column, it's in the 10,000ths column. So it's 25 10,000ths, and then you'd reduce that, but I'm going on so this video won't get so long. Let's practice making a fraction into a percent. Easy, easy. This means division. 4 divided by 5. It's always the top divided by the bottom. 4 is really 4.0. 5 goes into 48 times with no remainder. See where the decimal is? It goes straight up. So this answer is 0.8. And to make it a decimal, cha-ching, you move it 2 times, 80%. That's changing a fraction to a percent. Divide, move the decimal twice. We'll do it again here. 24/20. Divide, move the decimal twice. But there is an alternative way we could have done these two, and I'll show you that. If we could make this fraction be 100 on the bottom, then we'd have satisfied percent per 100. So 20 times 5 gives me 100. Likewise, the top has to be multiplied by 5. That's 120 over 100. Divide top and bottom by 10, and then it's easy to divide them both by 2. There's your fraction. But we wanted a percent, excuse me. So it's 12 divided by 10. 12 divided by 10, so it's 1.2. And then you move the percent twice. Cha-ching! 120%. So what I did was change this 24/20 to a reduced fraction. Could have done it here. That would have been lovely. 120 over 100 is 120%. I've shown you lots of ways to do that one problem. So you divide the fraction and then move the decimal 2 places to the right. Here's an example of using percents with your salary. If your salary is $26,400, what if you get a 5% raise? That means we want 5% of 26,400 added back in. I want my original salary plus 5% more. So you write it this way. Original salary plus 5% more. 5% of 26,400 is 0.05 times 26,400. And there's the answer. Here's another example. It's a little bit harder because we don't know the original salary. We know the new salary once we got our bonus. Not bonus, but a raise. The new salary is $16,200, but you can't multiply that by 0.05. You want 5% of your original salary added to your original salary to make up that new salary. I've said a lot of words there, but it's different than the other one we just did because we know the new salary, not the original salary. So I'll say the original salary is X, and then I want 5% of X. So here's how you do it. The original salary, which I don't know, and then 5% of the original salary, and it's going to equal my new salary. Well, 1x plus 0.05x is 1.05x. Then divide both sides by 1.05, and there's your original salary. What's the percent that's green in this picture? Well, one piece is green, and 4 equal pieces total the whole circle. So 1 of the total 4 is green. 1/4 is green. I want to make a percent out of 1/4. Remember, it's 1 divided by 4. Or we could make it into 100 because percent means per 100. So 4 gets multiplied by 25. So the top gets multiplied by 25. 25 hundredths. Well, we can write that as 0.25. You just move the decimal twice if it's over 100. So this is 0.25, which means to make it a percent, you move the decimal to the right. 25% is the same as 0.25. We could have known that right here. 25 hundredths is 25 per hundred, 25%. Here's the last example on this video. Read it to yourself by pausing the video, then turn it back on. All right, a table that's $100 is marked up 54%, and then it's marked down 54%. You'd kind of think it's back to 100, but it's not. Let me show you the work. $100 table, but you tack on 54% of it. So we need 54 times 100. We need the 100, plus we need 100 times 0.54. 100 plus 54% of 100. That would make it 1 plus 0.54. 100 times 1.54. The table's now costing $154. Well, we want to mark it down 54%. So we're going to take the price of the table and then multiply it by 54%, 0.54, and subtract, because we want to take off 54%. It's down to $70.84 now. Strange but true.